What is up, guys? This is your boy Chrisleetv back again with another video. Today I have my guy Rodney Brown with Long Game Logistics. I'm bringing him on the channel. He's just recently got into Hot Shots. He's also in the truckers group that we have on Twitter. So I'm bringing these guys on just to give you guys like kind of more background, more information on things that I can't touch on, things that I can't talk about because I have not experienced these things, just to give us more of, industry experience and things like that. And what guys are kind of getting into trucking for and the background on that. This is why I have Long Game Logistics owner Rodney Brown on the channel. You want to go ahead and introduce yourself, sir, and tell us a little about what you're doing out here and what your trucking journey.
Yeah, what's going on, everybody? My name is Rodney. I'm the owner of Long Game Logistics. I'm just a businessman. So, trucking is one of those things where I feel like that it's not going anywhere, and no matter whatever you look at, it got there pretty much, from logistics. Maybe not a truck, maybe a hot shot, but something like that is, like not something that's not going anywhere. And in the time that we're in right now, like especially like, due to quarantines and shutdowns and COVID, you want to be in something that's, not going to be anywhere. You want to be in something that's essential. So
Sure.
at the end of the day, like something that essential is good business to me. So if it's good business, that makes sense.
Right. Can you tell me a little about like your background and what you do outside of trucking and how like that got you into the industry?
So I was in the Air Force for about 4 years, and then I got medically discharged and whatnot. So during that time, I was able to pretty much see, how things really move and how like the mission is really important. And I feel like I wanted to bring that to, trucking. And I work with government contracts. So I work with government right now. So like I already had my 9 to 5 and whatnot. And then I'm just trying to build my legacy. And trucking's in one of the ways that I'm doing it. Also real estate as well. And then I have a clothing brand too. So I'm trying to do, multiple things.
Yes,
But
sir.
at the same time, like I just want to be in areas where that industry is not going anywhere. And I also want to be in areas where I can have a chance to vertically integrate, where I can just not do one thing. I can have that company. I can build something that can do a lot of different things. So
Right.
I can be a one-stop shop at the end of the day.
Right.
So when you make yourself valuable, then that's when opportunities come to you. People you network with, all types of different things can come to you, but you have to make yourself valuable. You have to, what do you bring to the table? What are you providing? So
Right.
I want to be the table at that point.
Yes, sir. That's been like kind of a reoccurring thing in the episodes that I've been doing is like just being valuable as a person. And just all the things that you're talking about as far as like you said, just owning the company, doing the government contracts. You're financially savvy as well from like what I'm seeing on your tweets and stuff like that, your clothing brand. Like what gives you the mindset to want to go past your 9 to 5, right? And
Pretty much, yeah, that's a great question. I think it's just personal, like, cause it's real cliche. Everybody has a team, the same 24 hours in a day, but at the same time, you really do. So why not? Why not choose yourself? Why not invest in yourself? Why not put yourself on? Why not put yourself out there? And then you never know who you can help along the way, and try to change their mindset, because long game stands for pretty much that's the mindset that I have. That's how I live my life.
Mhm.
Not built on instant gratification. And I feel like a lot of our peers and people older than us in this day and age, social media, it makes you see things and you just want it quick, quick, quick. But at the same time, those things that come quick, they leave quick. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you gotta build something and just have that mindset that delayed gratification is the way. Like you have to fall in love with the process of being great, and that's in any aspect of whatever you want to do, whether you want to start a lemonade stand or you want to have a fleet of trucks. You know what I mean? Like you
Mhm.
have to put in that work and enjoy that process, because if you don't enjoy the process, then you won't really be trying to learn. You know what I mean? And you
Right.
should be learning, because that foundation is going to be what carries you down the line.
Yes, sir. So what are things that you do to like, to help you learn about new things? What are like books you read to help with the mindset? Like, can you give me some insight on that?
Yeah. So when I was getting out of the military, that's when I started to try to think about, what did I really, really want to do?
Mhm.
Because in the military, like, and it just so happened I was blessed because I scored, pretty high on my ASVAB, and I got into a I got into a job called contracting. So
Right.
right there, I learned how to use government contracts and administer government contracts and things like that. So I'm well versed in that. And then I also always was thinking, you know what I mean, like to have a job is one thing, but how can I use this job to do what I want to do? Because I never wanted to work for somebody for my whole life. I always wanted to, be in business for myself. I always wanted to pass something along to my child. So I always thought about the next step. That's how I've always been. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's just one of those things where it's the mindset, and you have to pick your why and what makes you go. So to answer the question, pretty much, I got introduced to this podcast called Millionaire Mindsets Podcast,
Mhm.
and
That's amazing.
actually I became really really close friends with Xavier Indiana. Like that's my brother. Like, and we actually bought a house together in Detroit and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Shout
just
out to them. Shout out to Xavier and it's Deanna
yeah,
on
yep.
the Millionaire Mindset podcast.
For sure. And like everybody on there, like they chose themselves. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm like, wait, why not me? You know what I mean? Like, it's just one of those things where you just have to, you gotta have it in you, because there's gonna be things that will knock the regular person off. But like, I
Mm-hmm.
also watched, like, a lot of videos of, like, Nipsey Hussle interviews and things like that, and he just
Right.
said that he went through all the emotions, he just never quit. So if it's something that simple, then I know I can do it. And another thing is too that made me that way, I would say, is just a few books that I read, like on different other things, because I wanted to get into stocks and I did that too, and I wanted to get in real estate and I did that too. So it just was whatever subject that was interested me at that time. Then I would just try to find whatever I could to learn more about it and then put it into action, because anybody can learn and anybody can read, but if you're not actually putting that work in and doing what you're saying and taking action, then you're just reading.
I have a question, bro. Like, where are you from and where did you grow up? I know I'm kind of going back into
Yeah,
like the
come on,
beginning
yeah, come on.
questions, but like I wanna kind of shed some light on that. Like, how were you? You know what I'm saying? Were you raised to think like this, or where it was? Because I was always, you know what I'm saying, like when I was out of school in the summer, like my grandma would drop us off at the library, and we'd be at the library all day, right?
Yeah,
So what else are you gonna do at a library but read? So that's where I really picked up on like getting a passion and a love for books, right? So like how were you raised, and how did it affect that mindset to where you want that knowledge, and then also where you surround yourself by the right people, like you put yourself in the right place to be um and ready for the opportunity that's going to present itself when it does, right? And being able to see that. Like, can you tell me some more about that?
yeah. So I'm from South Jersey. I'm from a town called Pemberton. It's like I grew up near an Air Force base, so it's probably like 10 minutes from the Air Force base. And usually, no matter what base you go to, throughout America, it's always going to be like around, like like a little hood or something like that,
Okay.
because that's just how it is. Like, it's
Cheaper
just,
land,
yeah,
I'm guessing is
exactly. So I mean, it's just one of those things. And then those towns are dependent on the military and
mm-hmm.
jobs that are on the base. So that's just a background from where I'm from. So I've always seen things go a certain way, and I'm like, it doesn't have to go this way. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Because I'm just, and that's another thing. I'm from like a neighborhood called Lake Valley. So everybody there, it's either you play basketball, you try to rap, or you sell drugs, or whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's just people trying to get it, and we all are hustlers. So I've
Yeah.
always wanted more. It's like I said, it just was born in me. I've seen it. I've grew up quick. I always been called like an old soul. Like, I was older than my
Yeah.
age. Well, I just turned 30. You know what I mean? But like,
And that's the congratulations on that, because
thanks.
when you talk about growing up like that, a lot of us don't make it to see that age. So salute to
Right.
you on your
Right. And
accomplishments and
it's a
everything
lot
you've
of
done.
things. Like, a lot of my friends, they've gone opposite ways, or they've gone ways that I didn't. I was glad that I was able to get and go into the military and live in California for 4 years and just see a different way of life
For
and
sure.
want more for myself. And I played basketball in college and whatnot. So I've always been about like a team and have good work ethic and things like that. And my favorite player ever was, Kobe Bryant. Like that was my guy.
Right.
Like in peace. But like that work ethic and that Mamba mentality, I put that into everything that I do now. So that's another reason. And then you gotta find, like you were saying, like, with those people, like-minded people. Like I've had teammates, and speaking of one teammate, like that's my best friend, and he bought a truck. So I mean, like you just have to have, any bought real estate. So you got to have people that are around you and of like-minded. And even if you can't find those people, that's what the internet's for. That's what I use Twitter for. That's what I use Instagram for. I'm not on there for laughs and likes and things like that. I'm on there to network. I'm trying to get this bread.
Man,
So it's just one of those
it's
things.
like
Like
the easiest way, right?
yeah, it's so easy. So bro, it's so many people. I met you from there. I met you. I met so many people. I made so many connections from my phone that like literally I would have never had the chance to. Like
For real.
I've been to Houston, I've been to LA, I've been to Detroit, I've been to all these different places strictly for money, like strictly for business meetings, that for people that I've never met. But I come from a place too where you have to know the type of person you're working with, because a lot of people, they'll talk all that good talk and they'll look a certain way on Instagram, because Instagram is just a highlight reel at the end of the day.
For sure.
But then when you meet that person in real life, and it's different, like it don't really add up.
Yeah.
But I can tell usually from just talking to a person and being on the phone and the way they text and the way they carry themselves, to see if they'll have what it takes to do business with me, and if they're a solid person, because I only do business with solid people. So that's the main thing. You got to take that risk, because you never know. That person may be, like I said, they may not be who they say they are, but if they are, then you just go from there.
I was talking to someone yesterday. It was a podcast I did yesterday, and she was talking about like the things, like sometimes you have to take that risk and step out there, right?
Yeah.
And if like she said something like, if it's meant for you, right? Like if God has it in the plans, like no matter if you mess up the first couple times or you have a bad partner the first couple times, right? Eventually, as long as you keep trying, like it's going to work out.
Right.
Right. If you keep looking for those types of people that you want in your network and stuff like that, and you're in your mind, you're like, this is the person, right? And you're presented with those people that you think, like I feel like you're getting closer to the goal, right? Because um you're kind of like I was saying, like what made you see, like have that sight for opportunity, right? How
Yeah.
do you see, like what is you go through trials and errors and you say, okay, this isn't for me. Like
Right.
that person's not for me. Like what they're doing is not for me. But
Right.
I'm still looking for what I'm looking for, going through all that, you know what I'm saying, whatever the trials and tribulations. But you eventually gonna get there, as long as you say it like Nipsey said, and like your logo is like playing it for the long game, like just going through
Yeah.
and finally getting to where you're going and where you're supposed to be at. And I can see that with you, like you're getting there, bro. And it's dope to see, and just to be even in a group with you and see you on a timeline. Like just I saw and I'll get into that next. Like you recently got a hot shot truck.
Yeah.
Can you tell me about that?
Yeah. So I had originally wanted to get into trucking. Like I wanted to get in there, and I wanted to mess with semis at first.
Mm-hmm.
And I was doing all my research, and I was talking because I heard Don. So Don was on Xavier's podcast, and
Okay.
that kind of had struck my interest into trucking, because I didn't know how lucrative it was, but I always had seen trucks outside. I always had seen trucks on the road. Everywhere you go, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean. So it just shows you that everything is moving, and I needed to be a part of that. And so that's another thing. I wanted to get into something where the barrier of entry was a little lower, because
Mm-hmm.
I feel like just from experience, what I've learned so far and the research I've done and the people that I've talked to, like the repairs and whatnot, they're much lower, like on a dually truck, than a 53. You know what I mean? Like a
Mm-hmm.
big one, like an 18-wheeler, and hold like reefers, and then you got to worry about the trailers and the vans. And I don't want to do that just yet. I want to be able
Mm-hmm.
to build something that I understand, build something that I can be able to manage. And, you know, if something or God forbid happened, then I'd be able to cover that myself and not really have to be, you know, out. Because if your truck is tires aren't spinning, you're not making no money. You're not, the tires not turning, you're not earning. So, I mean, this was one of those things. So I just felt like it was a better play for me. And then I recently moved from California to New Jersey. Like my wife and my son, we sold our house and we moved back to the East Coast. So that's what stopped me. I was gonna buy a truck earlier, like months ago, but I just, you know, we tried to move and we moved during Corona, like we moved during the COVID. So that was, and I had how old was he? He's like 2-3 months at the time. My son was 2-3 months. So it was a lot going on. It just wasn't the right time to, you know, to dive into something to when you're going to leave. So I wanted to get to New Jersey and be able to build and do that from there. And then, like I was telling you, I tried to start looking for a truck in New Jersey. I was, you know, doing my due diligence. I was going to different towns and whatnot, trying to, you know, find the truck that I wanted, trying to get the best deal and everything. And I couldn't find one. And my best friend, my boy, his name is Greg Lawson, Full Court Transportation.
Great.
Yeah, that's my guy. He had bought his dually down there in Houston because he stays in Houston. So I was like, man, listen, is there a way that, you know, I can just buy my stuff down there and then, you know, still run it from New Jersey because my business is based in New Jersey. And we didn't see a reason why not. And I asked Don and he didn't see a reason why not. So I said, you know what, boom, next week I'm flying out there. So I just flew out there and bought the truck, bought the trailer, we got the equipment. This whole time I was doing this, you know, I had a couple of drivers that I was recruiting and whatnot, but it just didn't, some of them weren't willing to wait, you know what I mean? Because it's a lot of paperwork and a lot of stuff that goes in behind the scenes when you're trying to, you know, get active and get that authority going. So it's a lot of things that, you know, it takes time, especially Corona, so it's backed up. So people don't want to wait. So I mean, I found a guy who was willing to wait. He had really nothing to lose, and he had a lot of experience, and he just seemed like a good fit. He seemed like he would be a good person for you know, my company. So we hired him, and then we got him on the road last week. Last week was our first week running. So
he said, what was your first load? How did that go? Tell me about the first load and like just with the mindset, the process. Like, were you nervous? Were there any hiccups?
yeah, all of that. I felt all the emotions in that first, like literally, like, yeah, you're really in this, because it took me a few months to, you know, finally get active and have everything lined up and in order. And then at that point, you're like, we need to get, you know, on the road because those bills they're not going nowhere. So you just
keep coming.
exactly. So you got to get above those. So I was like a relief to finally, you know, be compliant and everything like that. And then at the same time, it's like, all right, well, you know, I do everything from out of state. I don't let where my physical location, my geographical location is affect or stop anything. I mean, like I said, I have property in other places. Everything I do, I have nothing in New Jersey. I don't own anything in New Jersey except for my home. But anyway, so my driver, you know, just different. You just have to learn different people. That's the thing. That's what I'm learning. It's like managing and you know, putting the pieces in the puzzle together the right way and doing things and just problem solving. And then that's the main thing. The more problems you can solve, the more money you'll make. And
that's a quote right there. That's a
and so the more, like I'm telling you, like it's just, and you get better. Like that's the thing. Like you just get better. Like, all those things, those unforeseen things that happen. Like the ELD stopped working the first day. So yeah, so I mean that was a, you know, a turn for the worse. And then I got my driver, you know, doing things that he probably shouldn't be doing with the level of experience he had. But I mean, we have to you know, just roll with the punches and take that and go with the flow. And I have to, you know, just be able to tell him how I want things to go, and then we'll go from there. But it's all growing pains. But once I feel like, you know, I get through that and weather that storm, then it'll be fine. And my next plan for that will be to, you know, just continue to expand. So once, you know, you get 3 months on, then, you know, your authority, you start pulling more work, pulling more loads, and I'm gonna start leasing people under me and things like that. And then, you know, just start to branch like that. So
that's a dope vision, bro. The journey's been dope. Salute to you, bro. Like if nobody said, like, you're doing some real stuff. You're providing jobs. you also in talking about like recruiting and providing jobs, you also have another business, I believe is called Logistics Jobs for Heroes.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm really proud about that because, like I said, man, I'm a veteran myself, so I'm military, like I'm pro-military, so I feel as though a lot of people don't know the different hardships that you know the people that are getting out of the military face. Like it's a whole different world, and a lot of those people, they aren't given the tools, and they're not given, like, what they need in order to survive on the outside. Like
Right.
it's really like that. Once you're done, like especially if it's medical, something like that, like the way they treat you, the way they switch up, it's different. Like, oh wow, I just, I was serving, I put my life on the line, things like that. And
Mhm.
then now, since I'm no use to you, it's like, it's okay, well, thank you, pretty much.
Right.
So I want to be that bridge to, um, not just for logistic jobs. Like that's what I'm doing right now because that's what I can do because that's,
Yeah.
I put myself on, I made a business and I can employ people and I can help people and things like that. But I want to get different partnerships to put some veterans that, whatever job they did in the service, they can just translate and transition into doing it as a civilian. So that's one of my main things. Like I want to, like I was telling you, like once I start leasing people on and things like that, I'm gonna provide jobs for veterans to either work in my company, and if you can't work in my company, then you can work for people that I know that are working with me. So I
Yes.
just be able to get those people, in those jobs because they 9 times out of 10, they're mission focused people just like me. Like they're not gonna abuse your stuff, they're not gonna abuse your equipment, they're not gonna do you wrong. They're gonna try to get that mission done,
Mhm.
and that's what it's about. At the end of the day, you gotta keep those wheels turning.
So just coming off of that, I want to thank you for your service and thank you for helping those guys out because, like you said, my wife works in that industry, and it's a lot of guys who, like you said, that transition we don't know because it's not our world, right?
Right,
But that transition is not easy. And
right. Not at all.
it's very dope of you doing that, bro.
Thank you.
Um, man, okay, so congratulations, you said on your son.
Yeah,
Okay, can you tell me like how do you balance all this with having a new son and
man.
uh, your marriage as well?
Yeah, that's probably the most I'd say, like, because I don't really have control over that. That's just I'm learning. Like I don't know. I'm trying to be the best father that I can
Right.
because that's all I wanted to do. But at the same time, like I'm running a company. I got jobs. I have my job and I have multiple companies, and then I have a wife and I do other things as well. I coach basketball, things like that. So
Right.
it's just like one of those things where you just have to keep doing it. And I look at him, and that lets me know that no matter what I'm going through, I can't stop. I can't
Right.
do it. So I won't even allow myself to, think of failure. I can't allow myself to think of slowing down. I just have to keep going. And once I get, my business to a point where it is replacing the income that I'm making, then I'll be able to have more time to, be even a better father and things like that.
Mhm.
Because he's here. So I mean, it's
For
I'm
sure.
working at home. So like it's me and my wife, and she works too. So I'm just trying to be the best teammate and the best father, best husband that I can. And
Oh,
it's a big testament to her too because she sees what I'm trying to do and she allows me to do this. So she holds everything else down while I'm doing it. So you got to find a partner
yes,
that
sir.
is with that.
Yeah, because my wife, like when she married me, she was like, I know, you know what I'm saying? You're pushing me to go and get it. So I know that you're always gonna go and get it.
Right.
So
Like
you know,
no.
understand like that with the whole trucking thing, like that's what someone if you're in trucking and like you're actually a driver, like you're gonna be gone. And
Right.
even you have that, you know what I'm saying, that whole experience where you have to leave,
Yeah.
right? Like you gotta go, and you definitely have to find the right one, like the right match, because that can hinder you in some instances. Like they want the attention, or they feel like you're out there doing what you're not doing, like what you know what I'm saying. Things people think, you know what I'm saying, and that might set you back. So having someone by your side who's able to understand what you're doing and the importance of it, not even for like the family, but for the whole like just your network, like the people that you touch, right?
Definitely.
Like it's huge, bro. So salute to y'all for that. I wanted to ask you, like what do you do for yourself, right? How do you keep that, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I need to do this for me? Like, is it like going out and like shooting some hoop at the park for like a 30 minutes or an hour working out, or like what are you doing to keep like that mental stability? Because so I know sometimes I get out of whack, and I'll be like, okay, like I get that when I get back in my truck because I'm alone and I can get back. I can say if I leave home and I'm up here, and it's just because I have like meetings back to back. I'm just like, all right, I need to get back down to me and figure out what's the next move, and then maybe I'll go back up to that heightened sense and that heightened like just stretching myself. Like it's difficult, you know what I'm saying? It's like I'm doing what I want to do and I'm getting where I want to go, but you have to compose yourself, right? Because things can get out of whack so fast. Like what is that process for you?
Um, so I mean, it pretty much like you said. I like to basketball is my first love.
Mhm.
So whenever I can, get out there and put some shots up, that always gets me in my right mind. It allows me to not really think about all the things that I've taken and put on my plate. But it allows me to get back to a time when things were much more simple.
Yes, sir.
And then also, I mean, like I guess you'd say I'm a perfectionist. So
Mhm.
it's just another thing that, I'm really good at, and it feels good to be good at something. So you want to keep
Yeah,
doing it. You know what I mean? Like I
yeah.
like the way, like I like to, when somebody's trying to guard me and then, I hit a three in their face, and there's nothing they can do about it. Like that makes me feel good. So that puts me in a spot, to keep on going. And
Right.
you can translate that, you can pick that and to put it into different parts of your life. So,
It's
and
the
you got to have confidence, man. That's the main thing. I say a lot of things like, because even if you don't even have the experience, if you have the confidence to, just like I said, to keep going and to weather the storm and just to be in it, then you're just gonna, it's only gonna help you. It's gonna exponentially help you, and that's in everything. So
Mhm.
that's the only time I can really, get away. Like when it's like a sanctuary for me. It's always been.
That's
So
dope. I'm
yeah.
glad to hear that, bro. I'm super glad to hear that. All right. So I want to wrap it up. I don't want to take too much of your Sunday. Thank you again for coming on, bro, and talking to me. This is a really dope interview. This is something that I wasn't able to speak on my behalf because you know what I'm saying? I like I said again, thank you for your service for the country.
About
Um, so we got long game logistics. We got logistics jobs for heroes. We got long game apparel. What am I missing? And also, just some parting words for the people, some motivation, some inspiration. What do you think that you know what I'm saying? What do you think can inspire these guys and get them to want to do something, you know what I'm saying, along the lines of not even getting into trucking, but just stepping up on that next level, stepping up to be the father and stepping up to understand, you know what I'm saying, the environment isn't always, you can't let it hold you back, right?
right, right. So, a few things. I'd say, pretty much you have to really want it. You have to choose yourself, and you have to be unwavering in whatever you really want to do. You can't. I don't do anything half-ass. I don't do anything with one foot in, one foot out. I jump all in. Like you have to be that way, and you just have to stop negative thinking. Like don't shoot yourself in the foot before you even did anything, because fear is crazy. Like if you allow fear to consume you, then you're gonna be trapped in whatever bubble or cycle you're in. So I'm not scared of nothing, man. I don't fear anything.
Right.
So that's the main thing. And I just believe in myself to a point where it's like I know I can do it if I teach myself or if I research. Like I'm not gonna just do something blind. Like I'm not an idiot.
Mhm.
This is money. Like this is my livelihood. This is everything. Like if I mess up, then that's on me, and I put my family in a bad position. But you have to research whatever you do and then be confident and just pull the trigger, man. You like Jordan said, or Jordan Wayne Gretzky, one of them jokers said it. They was like, whatever you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take.
Mhm.
You got to think of it like that. Like, if I don't do this, then I'm gonna be where the same spot I'm at. But what if I do this and it works out?
Yes,
And
sir.
then like a snowball effect. So
Yeah,
it's one of
yep.
that's one of those things, man. Success breeds success. So you just have to you have to be around successful people, and you have to want to be successful, and you have to study successful people. That's why like I appreciate you having me on here, because being in that trucking group, it's allowed me to get in the head a little bit of different people and different owner operators and also just different people and their walk of life and the way they think and just, you know, all that trucking jargon and things like that. And it allows me to know, okay, well, this is how they would feel. And just like even today, they was talking about if you own 30 trailers or 30 trucks, like who thinks like that? You know what I mean? Like you have to think on a big scale like that, because if you don't, what are you doing it for? I'm not doing this to have one truck. No, I'm trying to become a major carrier. Like I'm trying to, you know, vertically integrate. I'm trying to have a dispatch service. I'm trying to, you know, lease on. I'm trying to own land and, you know, have a trucking yard and maybe even a truck stop in my future, stuff like that. Like I'm trying to do all these different things. So it's just one of those things where you can't have that defeated mindset. I don't ever think, oh, I can or won't, it won't work. I try to figure out how I can make it work and what do I do and who do I know and where can I reach out to and just go ahead and attack it. You got to attack life. Just attack it. Don't let it attack you.
Yeah, that's dope. Man, thank you so much for coming on. It's your boy, Chrisleetv. Like I said, Long Game Logistics. This is my guy, Rodney Brown. You can follow him at Long Game Logistics on Twitter. I think it's also, you want to shout out your Twitter and your Instagram? So I don't want to get it wrong.
No, don't worry about it. It's @_long game. And then for my trucking page, as well as the like the recruitment and staffing agency, that's @logistics jobs for heroes. So that's on Twitter and that's on Instagram. So
Understood.
Yep, on there. And I mean, like I'll reach out. If you reach out to me, I'll get back to you when I can. But it's just one of those things where I'm open and I just want to help people. And also I'm busy, so it's one of those things where if you can look it up and I told you something, like I'm not gonna, you know, hold your hand and put you through it. I'm gonna point you in that direction, and then you got to do the rest of the work. But I'm never ever gonna just withhold information. You know what I mean? I want everybody to win. So
that's dope. Thank you again. It's your boy Chrisleetv signing out. Deuces. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode.